Okay.
Got it, Larry?
One second. Yep, go ahead.
Okay. 5.4, author approve the Recreation and Parks and Cultural Affairs Council Committee meeting dates for 2021, January 13th, February 10th.
Oh, crap.
As
Oops.
noted,
I looked
as
at
noted. So that should say 21,
because my birthday is May 14th and it's a Friday.
as noted.
We don't have meetings on Fridays.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's why it's kind of
Are these dates 21? Is that what we're checking now?
yeah. I think she looked at the wrong calendar.
yeah, it's definitely 20 because
Wednesdays, the February, March,
my birthday
April.
May 14th.
Friday.
April, it should be on the April should be the 14th.
Are we changing this? Okay,
Yeah.
so
April 14th. May 12th. June 9th.
that's
July.
right.
July 14th.
Yep. August 11th,
Yep. September
September
9th.
9.
No, September 8th. What happened here? I'm sorry.
He has it there too, at the top, you see it.
September 8th, October 13th, November 10th.
Yep.
And December 8th.
Yep.
Okay,
So
I'll make the
January,
corrections.
February, and March are the ones that are not right? Is that? Did you
No,
read?
I have April's was wrong, May was wrong, September was wrong, and November's was wrong.
July. So January 13th, February 10th, March 10th are correct.
Yep.
So we have April 14th,
Yep.
May 12th, June 9th,
Yep.
July 14th, August
Yep.
11th, September 8th, October 13th, November 10th, and December 8th.
I believe it is November 14th. No, I'm sorry, the 10th. You're right. Sorry.
Okay. You have anything to, this is just a regular calendar, all in
Correct.
favor?
On the second Wednesday of each month.
Yeah. All in favor, opposed, abstentions? Great, all right.
Nick,
Gonna move on.
if we start going live again or start meeting in person, is this going to change or are we just
No.
playing this strictly by ear?
No, this will be the same dates. It'll just be in person.
No, I mean whether we're going to start meeting live if we were given the option later in the year.
The dates will be the same. The dates will be the
Okay.
same. That's not going to impact it. Whether we go live or virtual, that decision can be made at the time.
Okay.
Any other questions? Now we're gonna move on to 6 for discussion. Fees and charges for the Department of Recreation and Parks for the 2021-22 season. We need
Correct.
to,
So-
go ahead.
So this is our annual fees and charges that we bring through the Rec and Parks Committee for approval. If there's any changes, I'd like to highlight those and then have a discussion about it and then get the approval from the committee before moving forward. I did not put it in the package. I will, Delene, if you can share your screen with the slides that I sent you. So last year we made changes to the parking passes down at the beach.
I'm sorry, Nick, can you see them?
Not yet, Celine.
Yes, to be the host, I think you gotta have what's the name?
I'm sorry, Larry says I'm disabled to share.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Try it now.
There we go.
All right.
So the everything stayed the same as last year, except for the ones that are marked in red. And I said last year we looked at the parking rates down at the beach. We did a comparable with the other municipalities around us, realized that we were below the market rate. And we did the same thing this year with the boating ramps. The boating ramps We went to a cashless system 2 years ago. And then we looked at the rates again this year to see where we are as a comparable. Delene, if you can just go back up to the first slide that has the red marking on the first page. I'll go over what the proposed changes are, and then what I'll do is I'll show you what the comparables are, right? So non-resident launches are $30 right now for weekdays, and then non-resident boat launches on weekends and holidays is $35. What I would like to do instead of adjusting those rates is just have a flat rate of $40. Right now we do a daily launch, but we don't charge an exit pass at the end of the season. And what I would like to do again, and what I would recommend, instead of raising it 30 and 35, I'd like to just have a flat fee any day of the week of $40. So that's one proposed change. And
Nick,
then
is that for I'm sorry, Nick, is that for non-residents? Okay.
Yes, these are non-resident rates. And then a daily launch and exit pass. So those are passes. And then this is a daily rate for both residents and non-residents of $40, right? And I'll come back to that in a second. Resident boat stickers. This is for the season. Right now it is at 20 and 15. What I'm proposing is 30 and 25. And I'll show you why in a second. Non-resident season launch passes. Right now it's 175. I'm proposing a jump of 275. Give me a second on that one as well. And then what we found out last year is we did not have a rate in for commercial operators launching customers' boats out of our docks. So basically what would happen is the staff down at the boating center would sell those operators a non-resident pass of 175. And those marine operators, there's approximately 4 or 5 of them in Norwalk, where they pick up customers' boats and then they bring them down to our ramps and they launch them, right? If there's a boat less than 20 feet, it's the market rate was 150. It was more than 20 feet, it was 250. So every time they launch a boat and they pick a boat out of our marina, they're charging customers 150 to 250. And they were doing this with a pass of $175 to cover the entire season, right? So I'm proposing that we have a business sticker for Norwalk businesses only, and then charge a seasonal rate of $750 for the entire season. When you break that down, again, if you're doing smaller boats or more than 20, that's essentially 5 to 8 boats, and you're making that money back easily in a week. And again, we had about 4 or 5 operators doing this, and they would launch approximately 4 to 5 boats a day in the beginning of the season, and then also at the end of the season, right? So those are the proposed changes I have. And Delene, if you can go down to the last slide. And if you can flip that for me. Yep, there we go. So the resident pass, I talked about it before. Right now, our residents pay $20 to $15. $20 for a resident, $15 for a senior resident. Stanford, it's $50. Fairfield, it's $50. Darien, it's $45. Westport, it's $85. As you can see, we are grossly under market, right? So my minimum recommendation for this would be $30 to $25. And I understand that this was downgraded a few years ago, but when you look at what the market rate is, it's something that I could not ignore, and it's something that I'm proposing that we look to change or increase. So that's the data there. And those Stanford, Fairfield, Darien, Westport are the Fairfield 5 park departments. They all border the Sound. They all have boat ramps and boat docks, and those are what the charges are. I'll move on to the non-resident pass. In Stanford, you see it's $370 for a non-resident seasonal pass. In Fairfield, it's $200, but they limit to 50 non-residents only per season. Darien and Westport, they don't even allow non-resident passes out of their ramps. And right now we're charging $175. So that's why you see the jump to $275. And again, that's still pretty low, but I think it's fair, right? My minimum would be $275. The resident daily pass, Stanford charges $6. Fairfield does not offer it because they encourage their residents to buy a seasonal pass as opposed to a daily pass. Darien charges 65 and Westport charges 15. The reason why I would just like to have one rate, both for seasonal, both for weekdays, weekends, and residents and non-residents of 40 is because it encourages residents to buy a seasonal pass of what potentially would be $30 or $25. So it makes sense for a resident to buy that a seasonal pass as opposed to a daily pass. And right now we do charge them 20 and 15. So this would be a $10 increase, potentially a $10 increase for a daily pass for residents. But again, we want to encourage people and residents to use a pass instead of a daily rate because it's cheaper. Non-resident daily passes at Stanford is 40. Fairfield, Darien, Westport does not even offer a daily pass to non-residents. And again, we had it at 25 last year and then 30 on the holidays. I want to just move to a flat rate of 40 because we really shouldn't have variable pricing. It's much easier just to have a flat rate of 40 across the board. And then the only other municipality that has a marina business pass option is Stanford, and their rate is $5.50. And the reason why their rate is lower is they only have about 2 marina facilities. And what they do more so is concentrate on sales. So I contacted their parks department. They told me they probably have, they probably use it a few times of the year. And what they do is that includes parking for their trailer. And what they'll do is they'll come in with a customer who's looking to potentially buy a boat. They'll bring the customer in. That'll include parking for them. They'll launch the boat. They'll take them out. They'll bring them back. But it's strictly for sales, right? As opposed to ours, where these operators are picking up boats, launching customers' boats, and then at the end of the season, they're charging them to bring them back out of the boat. So it's much more usage, many more operators as opposed to Stanford. And I think that's why I wanted to go with a higher rate of $7.50 as opposed to $5.50. So this was the data, this was the research behind what my proposed changes to the fees this year were.
Hey, Nick,
Yes, sir.
why is Stanford's resident daily pass $6?
I have no idea. When everything else is higher, I'm not sure why it's
Yeah,
$6.
across the board, they've been higher and, okay.
I can't explain why they do what they do, sir.
I thought there was some rhyme or reason to it that you might be aware of. Okay.
Darlene, can I ask a question?
Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tom. I kept saying that. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Nick, the Marina Business Pass.
Yes.
Tom's Marina pays $750.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get charged every time I bring a boat to be launched?
No. So last year, because we did not have a rate on the sheet, we did charge per boat, right? But this pass would be for the entire season, as many boats as that operator brings and launches and exits out. There is no limit on it. It's $750 for the season.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I got one.
Go ahead.
Charlie, excuse me. You had mentioned a few years back that a lot of these numbers were adjusted. I think I remember the conversations that were had back then. Nick, the one thing is, which always kind of threw me off, you have the non-resident daily pass that used to be $25 and $30 on weekends and holidays. And now it's bumping up to $40. And if I'm reading this right, the resident season pass is $20 versus $15. So why not? Well, excuse me. First of all, you've got those guys who drop their boat in and then take at the beginning of the season and take it out at the end of the season. I mean, it's twice. Is there a reason why you want to avoid having a resident day pass at a lower rate? You know what I mean? Like $dollars instead of 40 if they're only using it twice. Because I know a lot of boaters, they drop it in, they take it out. That's the 2 times they do it.
I was trying to encourage people to buy a pass instead because it was so cheap. For me to lower it the other way, we would essentially have to be less than $20 or $15 for a resident pass, right? So again, whether or not we want to go to something like Stanford where it's $6 or $10, we can go that route. But I was trying to encourage more people to utilize the pass as opposed to the daily.
God, I have another point. Like actually, someone very close to me bought a boat, and every time he took it out, he dropped it in at Vets, and he Norwalk resident, and he paid $25 every time. He did it like 7 or 8 times because he was just unaware of the season pass. So at that point, would it make any sense to just get rid of the non-resident daily pass and just sell season passes?
John, the resident daily pass?
Yeah, you're talking about non-residents or residents?
You're talking about getting rid of the resident daily pass.
No, excuse me, the resident, I meant. Yes, I'm sorry, resident. Getting rid of the resident daily pass and just selling resident season passes.
I would be okay with that. But yes, I would be okay with that.
Right? I mean, because it happens where people don't know, and then they realize they paid $300 as a Norwalk resident, because it's happened to me, and I'm sure it's happening, or to friends, that it's happening to other people.
And John, we've totally changed the staff down at the boating center, right? We realized there were some issues there. We have Pam, who oversees our lifeguards at the beach, really good manager. She took it over this year, did a really good job, brought in a bunch of younger kids to be able to go out to the boat ramps and help. And I think being able to provide that information and telling people what the best price was, I think we really tried to improve the overall customer service at the ramps. And it showed. Last year, we made the same amount of money with all the restrictions, with all the days that we had blacked out. We still made as much money as we did the year before. So I think that change definitely helped. But yes, I would be in agreement with you. We can delete the rate for a resident daily pass and then encourage them to just buy a seasonal pass because it's cheaper than what we're proposing. And it's the same as what we had before.
And so we'll just call it a seasonal pass, so it won't identify okay.
Keep the non-resident.
Unless you're going to make the resident daily pass like $2, what's the point, right?
Correct.
I agree with that. I think it would streamline it a lot, and it is a lesser fee. More residents would be happy about that. They're paying less for a season pass. And you could run into boat problems and have to take your boat out halfway and then put it back in again.
But at the same
where
time,
you thought you were saving a couple of bucks, you end up spending more.
But at the same time, question: are you saying that each time we pull a boat out, $40?
I'm sorry. Say it again, Kadeem.
Each time you drop the boat out, it's $40. That's what you're saying?
If they wanted to use a daily pass, yes, but residents can qualify for a seasonal pass of right now $20. I'm proposing to move it to $30. It's essentially cheaper than the daily rate. But why have 2 rates? You might as well just stick to a season pass of $30, which I agree with.
So then, with that being said, how would you even? I mean, that's just a question. Like, find the logistics of seeing how many people drop their boat in the water each day and stuff like that to make the actual price of the package.
I'm not sure where you're going with that, but again, it's cheaper to get a season pass, right? So it makes sense not to put a higher daily rate in, because a customer may be going there thinking, oh, you know what? I don't need a pass. I'm just going to drop the boat in one time. But they don't realize that the pass is cheaper than the daily rate. So it takes away that whole, why am I paying more? If I'm a resident, I can automatically just buy a pass. So we bypass that whole issue, which I agree with.
Okay.
Okay. So just so I'm clear, so we're going to take out the resident, the suggestion is to take out the resident daily pass line.
Yep.
And then above it, stick with the season pass, and it'll just say season pass, resident or non-resident. So it's just blanket. Okay.
Yep. What I need to know is whether or not you're on board with moving the rates from 20 to 15 to 30 to 25. And that's another justifiable reason of why we would delete the daily pass, because now we're going to a higher season pass, but that covers the entire season, right? So it sort of justifies and helps for raising the price higher, not only to make the market rate, but you're justifying it by saying, hey, when you buy a pass and you pay $30, that covers you for the whole season. not just one daily launch.
I mean, you get a lot of, Darlene, if you don't mind, a lot of older folks obviously are boaters. I mean, to us, $5 is $5, but I mean, to some of those seniors, I mean, are we going to hear about it? Maybe, you know. I mean, I don't know if going by a smaller increase of say 25, but in gradually getting to 30 over the next few years. I don't know. I guess it's up to the committee.
So you're suggesting 25 and 20?
And 20. I mean, it's been, how long has it been, Nick?
Really?
2 years ago, we actually reduced the rate.
Yeah,
It was 25 before, and we went down to 20. My counter to that, John, would be is if we're going to change the rate, you know, let's change it one time to something that's reasonable as opposed to incrementally moving it and having the argument and discussion every year. That's my approach, but I understand that, you know, 2 years ago, we obviously moved it down for a reason. But when I did the research and I looked at what the market rate was, I couldn't help. I had to propose something that was close to it.
Are we voting on this tonight?
No. So this is just to give you all a heads up. We'll have to put out public notice. We'll put the fee schedule. We'll have a public hearing before the next Rec and Parks meeting. But I wanted to talk about the rates. I wanted to come to an agreement on what the rates should be. And then we'll post it. Then we'll have the public meeting. Then we'll vote to approve it at our next meeting.
So I have a question. So for John, George, I don't know if you have a boat or any of you, Tom, too. So if we go to this season pass of $275,
Yes.
you don't think? You
For
don't.
Non-residents. That's non-residents, right?
Yeah.
No, but that's but the thinking is that's going to be for everybody, right?
No.
Non-residents.
That's non-resident rates only. A Norwalk resident will now not have the option to buy a daily pass, but they'll have to buy a seasonal pass, which is the same rate of what they're paying now, right? The 20 and 15, or whatever we move it to, whether it's 25 or 20 or 30 and 25, they'll now pay a flat rate Norwalk resident for a season pass, no option for a daily.
You're talking about the first one.
Yes.
The first. Oh, I'm sorry. I was going on to another conversation. I'm actually okay with a 30 and 25. I mean, it's not that much, particularly compared to the other towns. And if we look at like you said, not going back and forth, and if we leave it at this, then we can leave it at this for a few years, right? Until we feel like we need to do something else.
If I may, are the rates posted at the dock?
Yes, the old rates, the seasonal rates from last year, yes. What I would do with this, not only put it in a public notice, I would probably send it out to the local mariners and operators as well as post it at the boating center. It's not in season right now, but I think that's what I would do to sort of get the word out there. Because I'd rather deal with this issue now before the season starts than to start the season, people not be aware, and then we get the calls, the complaints, and everything else behind it.
I mean, the recommendation to eliminate the non-resident daily pass and just have a resident season pass makes sense to me. I don't know what the I know this is just a discussion, but I don't know what the rest of the committee thinks.
So just to explain this again, just so that I'm going through it. So the resident season pass, $30, $25. Non-resident season pass of the $275, that's going to stay. Resident daily pass will be
that gets eliminated.
Non-resident daily pass eliminated.
No. That stay.
That one will stay. Okay.
Yep. And then the Marina Business Pass of $750 is also on the table.
Resident daily pass is what we're going to change to an actual season pass, correct?
It's already there, Kadeem. It's the first one. we're just eliminating the daily pass, and then we're adopting a resident season pass at the top.
The residence daily pass down there, the $40, we're gonna make that an actual season pass, correct?
No, we're gonna delete that one, and then we're just gonna leave it at 30 and 25, or whatever we agree to, whether it's 25 and 20. The first line, we're eliminating the daily completely, and the resident season pass is the first one on the line.
Bet, got it.
Okay.
I'm okay with that, Mrs. Chair. Eliminating the resident daily pass altogether and keeping the current rates. And then we see what happens during public hearing. But to Nick's point, looking at the neighboring towns and city, Stanford, we're still considerably less. And with the option of, for $30, putting your boat in as many times as you want, in and out, I don't see that being a big problem with most residents. To Mr. Cody's, to John's point, if you're worried about seniors, because you're right, you know, every little bit does count when it comes to seniors. Obviously, I got parents myself, I know. Maybe we just don't adjust their rate, or adjust their rate a little bit less. You know, again, that's open for suggestion as well. But I think $30 is a really reasonable for the season for unlimited use of the boat launch at Vets as a resident, not as a business.
Chair.
30 and 15. You know, keep it the same for the seniors.
Say that again, John?
I could,
Hey, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I was saying that George brought up a good point about maybe the senior cost with the new recommendation, and raise keeping the senior cost the same as it is currently, but raising the other rates of 30.
Keegan, you have anything?
Bust out another 1,000.
I've owned the boat. $30 is the cheapest part of it.
George, still on? He is, right?
Yeah, me?
Yes. Theodorides, yes.
Yes.
Your any thoughts? Anything you?
No, I agree with everyone else.
Okay. All right.
Gas is crazy.
That's it. So
So-
what's the next step?
so hold on, so what rate are we proposing?
30.
30 and 15?
30 and
Or
15.
30?
30 and what?
30 and 15. Are we in agreement here? 30 and 15?
What's the
I like-
15 for?
The seniors.
The seniors under the resident pass, the resident season pass, instead of doing 30 and
Oh,
25,
okay,
we'll do
resident,
30 and
okay.
15.
I was thinking resident seniors, not non-resident. Okay. All right. I'm okay with the 30 and 25. I mean, that's a pass. So you pay that once and you're in, and you can go as many. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Can we compromise then and meet? in the
Yeah,
middle at 30
do
and 20?
30 and
Wait, are
20.
you ready to finish this meeting?
Yeah, 30 and 20 maybe. Like I don't see.
Again, look at the rates across the board. We are way, way below.
I know.
I think moving it up 5 for the seniors, okay, I get it. But 30 for regular residents,
Yeah.
I think that's also fine.
It definitely has to go up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
30 and
30
and 20.
and 20.
20 is fine.
Yeah, that
Okay.
sounds great.
Okay, so that's the only change. And then we're eliminating the daily, but the 275 is okay. The 750 is okay. And the non-resident daily pass of 40 is okay.
I do have a question. Is 300 out of the question?
Not
George?
at all.
John,
Non-resident?
For the season pass to go from 275 to 300.
Well, right now,
Non-resident.
right
Yeah.
now it's 175, so it would be going from 175 to 300.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Pro has a max of only 50.
Huh?
So
I mean, it's always good to have
Yeah.
like statistics to go along with this. I mean, do we have any? I mean, are we selling a lot of non-resident season passes?
Yes, but I can have those numbers for you at the meeting next month. Right? So yes, we can adjust it at next month, or we can move it up to 300, and then based on those statistics that I can get you, we can adjust it down if need be.
I'd like to do that.
Okay.
And I think to Kadim's point, right? It's how many times the boat touches the water, right? That you're launching. And so people, right, what's that $300 going to, how does that match? I can go in and launch my boat 100 times and I've only paid $300, right? So
Yes, and when you look at it, so Stanford is charging $370. They're the only other municipality that offers a non-resident pass, right? Fairfield offers it at $200, but it limits it, and then Darien and Westport says no completely. So $300 is not it's not crazy because Stanford's charging $370, and
right.
Fairfield is limiting it to 50 people. So it's not crazy to go to 300.
statistics, I think that 300 would be solid.
So at the next meeting, I'll have the total number of non-resident passes sold for you.
Yeah.
And I'll actually pull it for everything that we have on the launch fees. I'll pull how many we did last year for each one of those categories.
Okay. Perfect.
So 30,
All
20,
right.
275,
Yep.
wait for statistics, 40 is gone. The 40 for the non-residents there, 750, of course, I agree with that. So
Correct.
everything is cool.
The only numbers that I will not be able to give you is how many marina business passes or commercial launches we did last year, because last year we sold them as individuals and not as a business. But all the others I'll be able to give you.
All right. So you want to move on to number 2?
That's it.
John, you guys good? Okay.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
The special events,
No, I'm gonna push that
that's
till
the one, right.
February. Yep.
that's February. All right. All right.
Do a motion.
Have a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Thank you.
Aye. Aye, aye, bye.
Happy
Thank you,
night.
guys.
Good night.